now with all the news from Hanover-Horton School District. We have John Denney, Superintendent. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Doing good. How about you?
We are good. I hear that you might be the culprit for this cool weather.
Well, you know, from the school's perspective, it is nice having crummy weather outside. Kind of helps keep the kids focused this time of year. Although I'll take it a little warmer.
Yeah. Freezing and spitting snow is just kind of put you in a mood.
Not this time of year.
No. So what's new over at Hanover-Horton?
Well, we're right back into it seems like a never-ending cycle. We're already starting getting going for next year. We actually have our first day of roundup is today.
Oh,
so
wow.
we got the little ones coming in, and we'll have a day and a half longer of it, but it is definitely one of those that if people aren't able to make it in by Wednesday, they can, we'll run them through the assessments anytime.
Okay.
But we try to make appointment times because we have all of our kindergarten teachers are working with the kids, that we put subs in the classrooms, and
nice.
They rotate through little stations so that way the teachers each get a chance to get to know the little ones a little bit, so that as we build the classes for the fall, try to get a good balance of the behaviors and just try to get a good blend for the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first time for a lot of these families that they've never set foot in the building before.
That's true, and especially, you know, with some of the changes that have happened recently, there's a little less opportunity to get into the buildings, but it's a fun time.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how little they are.
And you guys have a Young Fives program as well?
We do. We have 2 classrooms that we'll have the kids go into there, and a lot of it's not necessarily based on age. That's kind of the name we came up with, but a lot of it ends up just at kids that just aren't quite ready. That we found the first year as superintendent, we had a class that we had like 9 kindergartners that were recommended for retention because they just weren't ready for first grade.
Oh, wow.
So rather than do it as more of what felt like a punitive thing, we came up with let's catch them early, let's build them up. And for the most part, as our kindergarten classes move forward, the students from Young 5, instead of starting off in the bottom 10% of the class, most of them end up in the top third when they start kindergarten.
Oh, nice.
To really give them that sense of success and striving right off the bat. And it's worked out great.
Oh, that's great.
Sounds like it works.
It does.
John is actually downtown on Saturday night experiencing the nightlife of downtown Jackson.
That was such a cool thing. Steve Tucker from the Michigan Theater opened it up for us to be able to have our annual jazz bash.
Oh, nice.
Where we had a local performer along with a couple bands from Adrian College came up, and our band played. It was a very, very cool evening. And just what a venue for the kids to be able to play in.
Yeah, so you guys actually have a jazz band?
We do. That's part of the offerings we have, that we offer at the high school level. They get band, choir, or jazz band. Some will do all 3.
Nice.
Which makes it a little tough on their scheduling, but they love it.
Very cool.
JTV was actually there. Noel Baker was filming the event, and we'll have that for you, the whole thing, coming up, I think, this weekend.
Oh, perfect.
And some of those kids, they were competing in the morning at the competition.
The solo and ensemble was that morning, and then the concert that night. So it was a busy day for them.
Oh my goodness.
And they did well. Several got 1 ratings, and we've got it's amazing the talent we have walking our hallways every day.
Yeah, that's awesome. You guys have a millage coming up.
We do, our operating millage, which is one of those things I still cannot figure out why we have to do it, and it confuses a lot of people. But it gets down to the point that the bottom line is the millage generates about $1.4 million for us. And it fluctuates, and I'm sure you have a lot of fun explaining to people that are buying homes how to figure out those tax rates, especially with the lake properties. But the big thing is for the majority of people in our district, they don't have to, it doesn't impact them. They're not paying it because it's on the non-homestead. But one of the things that Michigan put in the Constitution is the Headley Amendment. And this is part of what leads to so much confusion in the operating millage realm, that in 2015 we passed a rate at 18.5912. I'm not sure how we came up with that number. But over the years, because of the increase in property values, the millage rate had to keep getting rolled back. So the school got less and less and less and less money. Typically, you would try to just do a renewal, or you can go for a Headley override. But we had to go to a new millage because we're only allowed to restore half a mil on a renewal. And since our number went down to that 17.2, the only way we can get fully funded is by doing a new millage. So the board opted to go for 18 mils, or 20 mils, even though legally we can only apply 18 to the tax levy, so to give that cushion to be able to ride it out so that as we go forward, we're not stuck at looking at doing a Headley override or having to do a new millage, because we've got to pay for the election cost.
Yeah.
So it is incredibly confusing, but if we're not levying 18 mils, we don't get our full funding from the state.
Oh, geez, yeah, we don't want that. We want you to continue having all these great
Yes,
programs
yes.
for your kids and great teachers.
And then on top of that, we have the ISD millage coming up as well. So that's $300,000 to our district, well over $8 million to the county. So a couple of big items coming up on May 2nd.
Oh, wow, they're both that day. Cool. Well, get out there and vote.
Absolutely.
A week from tomorrow.
Is it already a week
Yeah.
from tomorrow?
Yeah.
Holy
May.
smokes.
Maybe May will have good weather.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope Election Day has good
Yes.
weather so you have a good turnout. How are
Absolutely.
your kiddos?
They're doing great. Evan's wrapping up his first year teaching.
I cannot believe.
6th grade over at Northwest, and Jeff Bontrager keeps talking about the fact that Evan was one of his Miller kids for a little bit there. That so he got hired by his elementary principal.
That's so
And
cool.
Leah's playing soccer, loving life, and a typical busy junior in high school.
I can't believe she's a junior. Did your son graduate from college like on an accelerated program? I don't feel like that.
He graduated in 3 years.
Okay.
And that was because we don't really push AP classes at Hanover-Horton. We encourage a lot of dual enrollment.
Okay.
So he graduated high school at 28 credits.
Wow.
So he did a couple of summer classes and was able to graduate with his teaching certificate in 3 years.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so this is his 4th year out of high school, and he's finishing off his first year teaching.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
End of the school year, all the senior events, the prom, the graduation, and all the excitement for seniors, class of 23, back to normal, really for the first time since the pandemic. The seniors are getting a normal experience.
They're getting a full treatment, coming up. That we graduate on a Friday, going into Memorial Day.
Oh wow.
Prom coming up. I think it's May 13th. I think 12th,
Okay.
something like that.
Nice.
So it's a sprint to the end for them, especially.
Yes. It's
Prom season actually started. I saw kids in tuxedos and gowns on Saturday night downtown.
Yes. Yep. I saw lots of pictures all over Facebook for sure. I liked it. Everybody was dressed really nice and seemed like they were excited. And
It is a fun time for the kids. My daughter actually had a prom committee meeting yesterday as they're wrapping up the details on theirs and after prom and all that stuff. So
after prom is a newer concept. We didn't have that when we were in high school.
no, it's
Did you have it?
No, I could tell you some stories. I did go to prom. Thanks you, Brandon.
I didn't go to my senior prom. I did not go to my senior prom. No, I didn't. But no, it's like something's missing in my heart because I did not go. But tell our viewers what after prom is.
After prom is basically create an environment where the kids want to go after prom to have some fun and kind of just be able to wrap up the evening, a little bit of a supervised time with their friends. They'll have games going for different activities. Just wrap it up and have some fun rather than just everybody going off on their own after the prom, and give them a supervised spot to be.
Yeah, I love it.
For my prom, I was the only boy that didn't have a tux because my mom said, we're not going to waste money on renting clothes. You'll have to. So we went to Robert Hall and bought a suit, a light gray suit, and I think it was $70.
Oh
and
my
it looked every bit of $70.
But actually, you're a trendsetter because that's what a lot of the guys do now. Very
Oh, really?
few will rent a tux.
Yeah.
They'll go out and they'll buy suits, and that way they've got their suit. You'll see the guys will wear the same suit for junior, senior prom,
Yep.
and graduation events, and everything else. So they're skipping their tux rental and going right to buying the suits.
Your
I
mom
started
was
something.
brilliant.
So you were ahead of the
Yeah.
curve.
Yeah. Your mom knew what she was doing. Way ahead of her time.
Way ahead.
Not that you were thinking that at the time.
No, I fought it at every step.
I bet.
Well, we congratulate the class of 23 at Hanover-Horton, and I know we've got a lot of spring sports, a lot of things still to come, and best wishes for the rest of the year for everyone.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Superintendent John Denney at Hanover-Horton Schools. Up next, Experience Jackson is going to take us on a little visit. Stay tuned.